listen, can I be a slave in the opera? He said, excuse me? And it's one of those ideas that I've had a problem with as a kid, because if I got teased for anything in school, it's because I was so dark. And for a moment there, I wasn't happy to be who I was. And it wasn't until I started singing that people in my community, and in that particular room, even paid any attention to me. Not that I needed it, because along with realizing I could sing came an attitude that I still have. I figured, can you do this? Hi, I'm Shirley Adelia Stewart, and this is my 51st year in New Orleans Opera Association.
Will you tell me about your first experience with opera?
My very first experience was actually seeing a production that New Orleans Opera did when they were at the Municipal Auditorium. As a matter of fact, a teacher at that same elementary school asked, who wants a ticket to the opera? So I raised my hand, and I went home and told my parents I had this ticket to the opera. They had no idea what that was. They said, well, where is it? I said, at the auditorium. So my dad said, I'll take you, but I'm not going in. You'll be right where I leave you with the security guard. Oh, I promise. Well, how long is this opera? Oh, it's only about an hour. Well, it was Turandot, first of all, which is like 3.5 hours with cuts. But I didn't know that, and neither did he. So, if he was upset, he never let me know. It was so colorful, and the stage was just so spectacular with sound and color. I said, I'm doing that. Still, I didn't know that there were more African Americans out there doing this, but it was important. So I started to tell my parents, who had to get up and get us ready for school and go to work themselves. So my dad said, just please give that child an aspirin so she can go to sleep, so I can go to work in the morning. And when I got to school the next day, of course, there was nobody who wanted to hear about this. So I said, okay, I'll just keep it to myself, because I know I'm going to do it again. I'm going to sing on that stage.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when I was a junior in high school, and they sent out this call for schools with a number of African American singers who wanted to try out the opera. So I said, oh, I think I want to do that. Then I found out what the part was. You had to be a slave. I said, what I already know about history, that's not a real cool thing. So I said, okay, I read the story, and I said, okay, this is a different kind of setting. So I went home and I told my dad again. I said, listen, can I be a slave in the opera? He said, excuse me? Can I be a slave in the opera? I said, oh, no, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I said, these people have been held captive in a war and taken from their homelands, much like our ancestry. So he said, well, I said, oh, Daddy, please, I think they're going to actually pay us. And they did. It was like amazing. Until Katrina, I had a picture of that check, because my dad took it to work and asked his boss to take a picture of it for him. And he said, and my child wants to be a slave.
What would you like to see happening in the future with opera?
Because we have people like Carol who is working real hard to get the community involved in opera through the children's chorus. That there's going to be a lot more representation in the theater, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But still, our children need to know that there is something else out there. I took a boys' choir from an inner city school, taught them the children's chorus, and I don't remember which Carmen we sang for, and they actually got to sing children's chorus. When they see me on the street and they come up to me, remember that time you took us to sing in the opera on stage? And so I know that they remember, and those kids are in college now. I would like to see more children involved, because there are a lot of operas written that have children's choruses in them. Or even if the children are not singing, you need extras. All towns are not designed with just adults in them. You need to put some children on that stage, because they're not singing at that point if they're just an extra. But they're listening and they're hearing and they're watching what's going on. I would love for them to go into not only the schools uptown, but don't forget, you need to go where primarily a lot of African American children live. If they need to go out to New Orleans East, the Vietnamese community, I am certain that there are some children out there who could benefit from this. Putting something like the opportunity to sing in a professional company like New Orleans Opera would give them some incentive. Suppose there's a child there who is really quiet, but has a voice like Leontine Price. We're never gonna know. I got news for you. We got principals who've never been to an opera. I spoke to somebody just this afternoon about coming to the opera. Well, where is it? What do you mean, where is it? Sitting right there in the middle of Armstrong Park. A big, beautiful theater. You can't expect people to come to the table if they've never been invited before. They don't even know that they have a place at the table.